Woe to systems when truth gets bent. Woe to systems when truth gets bent. Oh, woe to systems when truth gets bent. Control replacing the one that was sent. Cut from the vine when the message gets spent. Not Christ in the center, but man in the center. You built a gate Christ, never installed. If your name ain't on list, man-made call. Revelation says water is given to all, but you turn free access into control stall. John 6 clear, he never rejects the reach. Whosoever comes is the kingdom speech. But you add conditions Christ never did teach. Replace grace with controlling what you preach. That's not order, that's ownership claim. Replacing the gospel with administrative frame. You don't guard the door, you assume the name, then restrict what Christ already proclaimed. Woe to systems when truth gets bent. Control replacing the one that was sent. Cut from the vine when the message gets spent. Not Christ in the center, but man in the center. You don't preach repentance, you assign exclusion. Turn sinners into permanent conclusion. Luke 15 destroys that illusion. Christ moves toward broken, not your institution. Come on, heavy laden, no filters applied. But you redraw borders Christ never implied. You don't offer healing, you sort who survives before they even step inside. 1 Corinthians says wash can be made new, but you lock people out based on what they do. That's not gospel, that's human review. Replacing redemption with categories you choose. Under me, false elevation declared. Christ said, brethren, no rank prepared. You flip servanthood into control, that's impaired. Authority over flock and properly shared. Matthew 23 already called this out plain. Greatest is servant, not ruling in vain. But you reverse structure to control the chain. Call it domination, spiritual gain. 1 Peter 5 warns, don't rule like a king. Don't control the flock or the weight that it brings. But you place yourself above everything, deciding who's lost and who's fit for the brain. That's not leadership, that's coercive abuse. Lording over people with doctrinal misuse. Woe to systems when truth gets bent. Control replacing the one that was sent. Cut from the vine when the message gets spent. Not Christ in the center, but man in the center. You normalize violence and holy disguise. Plant them in the ground when anger arises. But Christ shut that down when he clarified. Put the sword down, no justified strikes. Matthew 26 ends retaliation claim. Romans 12 strips vengeance from your name. You speak judgment, but you're not in frame. Vengeance belongs to God, not your aim. You didn't receive authority to strike. You were commanded to walk in light, but you baptize rage and call it right. That's flesh-driven doctrine, not kingdom sight. You mock people openly in tone. Snag or two bald-headed, flesh overthrown. That's not correction, that's pride exposed. Speech condemned before God's throne. Matthew 5 warns what you casually say. Rock or fool brings judgment your way. You don't degrade and still call it holy display. That's corruption of language on display. Ephesians 4 shuts down that speech pattern. No corrupt words from lips that matter. But you build insult into doctrine and chatter, destroying people's worth and stature. I know your category, false decree. You assign spiritual identity, but Romans 14 rejects that authority. Not giving the man in finality. Deceive, lost. You declare as fact, but no divine insight backs that act. Matthew 7 exposes your crack. Judgment distorted, beam and tide. You don't see hearts, you project control, then label people outside the fold. That's not discernment, that's pride grown bold. Replacing Christ with narrative role. You frame miracles like they validate you. No man doing this, self-centered view. But John 5 says the truth is true. I can do nothing apart from him who moves. You redirect attention back to your name instead of Christ who bears all flame. That's not ministry, that's self-made claim. Dressed in doctrine to protect your frame. 2 Corinthians remove that entire tone. We preach not ourselves, apostolic zone. But you shift glory back to your own. That's distortion of the cornerstone. You call confrontation instead of peace. Meet me at the park, escalates disease. But Matthew 5 says conflict should cease. Reconciliation is kingdom's release. Romans 12 says live peace if you can. Not pervert conflict or threaten the man, but you escalate tension as part of the plan. That's flesh strategy, not God's command. Woe to systems when truth gets bent. Control replacing the one that was sent. Cut from the vine when the message gets spent. Not Christ in the center, but man in the center. Man in the center. All the system